Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the one and only Charlie Brown. And once again, it's time to go around the town with me. Um, Now, before we get into this, let me make sure I put this disclaimer on there. I haven't watched WWE in a long time. WWE, the corporation, the board, the way they made their decisions, and like for example, how they fired all those people, the things they do with their talent, what they did with NXT when they changed to NXT 2.0, which kind of doesn't make sense because you had NXT, which was kind of like a game show, like they were trying to compete to become like a member. Then they had like kind of like the little small version of NXT. Then they had like the Florida Championship Wrestling, and they changed that into NXT. So NXT has evolved and changed. Well, it changed into what it became. And NXT was amazing for a long time. I didn't even watch the main roster. I only wanted to watch NXT. But with that being said, a lot of their business decisions and things that they've done over the last couple of years, I don't like, so I kind of just moved on. I moved on and started watching AEW. But AEW has its problems as well too. I'm not gonna get into that right now, which I'll just do a different video on that altogether. However, ever since I was younger, I always wanted to be a wrestler, wanted to be some type of, evolved inside that business of some sort. Now, with that being said, you will understand why I say a lot of things that I say when I'm giving these pass or fails for the Royal Rumble. Now, here we go. Let's jump into it. Royal Rumble 2022. Now, the first match they had, which kind of set me back because they did like the whole pre-show thing. So I sat down at 7 o'clock to watch the pre-show thing. There's going to be like a kickoff match or whatever. And they basically just talked, which I thought was kind of cool when Booker T. Booker T was the most exciting thing on the kickoff show. Mr. Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. He made it worthwhile for actually watching. When they had certain people come and sit down and do like little interviews or whatever. They had Sonya. What is her name? How did I forget her name? Sonya Deville. Now, again, I haven't watched WWE in a long time, but Sonya Deville, at this point, she's on screen. She's in charge of the women's division on both Raw and SmackDown. But so she does this thing which I thought was kind of funny, where she's like, when I have this coat on, I'm a WWE official. When the coat comes off, I'm a WWE. I'm competing. I'm an actual WWE superstar, which I thought was kind of funny in the way the back and forth that went on between her and Booker T. Now, there was no kickoff match or anything. Kind of made me mad. So if it wasn't for Booker T, that whole thing would have been infuriating. I would just lost my mind. So let's jump into it. So the very first match they had was Seth freaking Rollins, versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. Now, Roman Reigns comes out first. Normally, the champion comes out second or last, depending on how many people there are, going against the champion. But the way they set this up was kind of cool. First, I was like, well, why did they let him come out first? So then, now they tell you the backstory, how they got to these two opponents fighting inside the ring. They used to be inside the Shield together. Seth freaking Rollins is the reason why the Shield broke up. And ever since then, Roman Reigns has went through what he went through, evolved and became the character he is, and Rollins has become the character that he is currently. So, but apparently Roman Reigns hasn't been able to beat Rollins on the big stage. I didn't really realize that until they pointed all that out. Anyway, so when Rollins comes out, he comes out to the Shield's music, and he actually had his original Shield gear on. He came out laughing and playing mind games with Roman Reigns. He comes down, gets into the ring the exact same way he does. Even does a little flip that he used to do before he got into the ring. He gets in there, he does the whole Shield thing, gets in there. They have a great match. Rollins was basically dominating the match because he was playing mind games with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wasn't really able to get a hold of the match really. At one point, Seth freaking Rollins, powerbombed him Shield style through the table outside the ring, and then got him back inside of the announcement table. So, commentary table. They get back in the ring. They're going back at it and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Roman Reigns ends up getting the upper hand, and he gets to the point where he's about to win the match, and Seth freaking Rollins lays down and he's smiling and laughing at him and tries to get him a shield fist bump. Roman Reigns gets upset, he gets mad. Afterwards, he grabs him, he puts him in the guillotine. Seth Rollins is trying his best to get out, but he can't. And then the referee, which I thought that spot was kind of crazy. The Seth Rollins is trying to make it to the ropes. The referee picks his hand up and goes to drop it, and his hand drops directly on the bottom rope. And then Roman Reigns keeps saying, "No, I can't let go. He doesn't want me to let go. This is all his fault." And then he gets disqualified. So the winner of that match so happens to be Rollins. Now, I have to give that match like right there in between, like right there in the middle. I can't really give it a passing grade. I can't give it a felon grade. But the two wrestlers themselves did an amazing job telling the story in the ring. But right after the match was over with, Roman Reigns gets out of the ring. He grabs a chair. He starts wailing along and beating up Seth Rollins. And then after that, he walks away. Seth Rollins is still laying there smiling and laughing. The match directly after that was the Women's Royal Rumble match. And honestly, the Women's Royal Rumble match was better than the Male's Royal Rumble match. And I'll just go ahead and throw out the combatants right now. First, Sasha Banks comes out dressed as Sailor Moon, which I thought was really cool. And then a blast from the past, Melina comes out. She had the paparazzi taking her pictures and everything. She even did the little split and then got in the ring. You could tell she was really emotional because if you go back and you watched it, or if you didn't watch it, if you go and watch it now, you will see like the tears in her eyes, and she was excited to be back, which is a great thing. You know, anybody that's ever been inside that ring, to hear the world, the audience, to didn't be able to do something that you had a dream of actually succeeding in and coming back to it after that, and you know that you're loved and welcome like that, of course you're going to have emotions like bouncing all over the place. So after that, Sasha Banks immediately throws her out. Okay, I'm not going to really jump into eliminations, how eliminations are, unless it's actually like a story point. Okay, so after that, you had Tamina come out. After Tamina, it was Kelly, which I don't know if she had work done, but she didn't look like the Kelly I remember. I had to look it up, like, is the Kelly? I was like, oh, okay. Which I got to point this out. A lot of these women in there are like, they're older, you know, but they all look amazing. A lot of them haven't really missed a beat. They're still, you know, on their P's and Q's and still out there, you know, doing an amazing job in the ring, and I commend them all for that. And it's great for me. To me, I want to say thank you to all of them, you know, because I grew up watching them, a lot of them, you know, in like the Attitude Era, like Lita. Oh, I didn't even get to that yet. Let me keep going. So after Kelly, number 6 was Aaliyah. Number 5 was Aaliyah. Which I didn't even know she was on the main roster, but apparently she is. Then Liv Morgan comes out number 6. Queen Selena, which I didn't even know she was a queen, but apparently they had some type of tournament and she became a queen. She's the first ever female queen of the ring in WWE. So, all right, well, that's a thing apparently. Bianca Belair, which I got really excited for. Dana Brooks. Now I love Dana Brooks. She's like that underdog that's gonna just keep going. She's the Brooklyn Brawler of the female division. Okay, Michelle McCool, which is Undertaker's wife, she ended up coming out there. It was great to see her again. Sonya Deville, again, jacket on, she's a competitor. Jacket off, she's a competitor. Jacket on, she's an official. Okay, you had Natalya, then you had Cameron. Cameron was Naomi's tag team partner, you know, back when they were the Funkadelics or Funkasaurus, you know, with all that, what, you know, funk is, I don't know, right? All that stuff was going on. And then she ended up, I think she quit the company or got fired, I can't really remember. But when Sonya Deville noticed that was a friend of Naomi, and that one of the commentators said, well, yeah, she'll be upset if her friend got hurt or whatever, she immediately got up, went in there and attacked her, and then threw her out. Yeah, she brutalized her and then threw her out. Then the next person that came out was Naomi. Naomi gets in there and then throws out Sonya Deville. Come to figure out that the two of them had like a feud or whatever going on. And I looked it up. I took the time to look it up and try to figure out exactly why they were fighting and why they were upset with each other. and there's really no reason for it, like at all. Like I don't know if one person pooped in the other person's Cheerios or what, but there's really no reason for the two of them to really be fighting at all. And a lot of people I know that actually, continuously watch Raw and SmackDown and stuff, they're like, yeah, none of it makes any sense at all. They're just like, they're fighting. We don't really know why. Like, yeah. But after that, you had Carmella, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, which is weird because Charlotte Flair is actually the champion on SmackDown, but she wanted to be the champion of SmackDown, enter her into the Royal Rumble, and then be able to compete against the other champion. That was her plan. Yeah. So you had Ivory, which was really good. Ivory comes out with the microphone, gets in there with the whole gimmick of rights of censor. She gets in there and she's talking, and then immediately she's thrown out of the ring, and she's gone. She was thrown out by Rhea Ripley, which is really entertaining when you see it and go with her character and stuff like that. So it was great seeing Ivory back. Then you had Brie Bella, Mickie James. Woo! Okay, I love Mickie James. Mickie James is one of the best female wrestlers of all time to me. But Mickie James, when she came out there and got in the ring, she actually came down there with the TNA Championship on. She's actually on the roster of TNA, which is Impact. She's on their roster, and somehow they worked out some deal for her to be in here, and it was really great to see her hardcore country herself inside that ring. After that, you had Alicia Fox, which, again, if you guys listen to the podcast, you would know that it was pointed out to me by Chuck Jordan. Chuck Jordan says, no, she was the first African American female champion. And I was like, really? And when I looked it up, I was like, oh, that's true. I'm like, wow. So she's part of history. Which next month is actually February. So that's something to think about. Then you got Nikki ASH, which she's almost a hero. And I never really got into that gimmick or whatever. I don't understand it, whatever. Then you had Summer Rae. A lot of people were excited about that. Then you had Nikki Bella. Anyway, then Sarah Logan. I was happy to see Sarah Logan back. I follow her on Instagram, and I love Sarah Logan even when she was in there. But she was only in there for a minute. They basically brought her out. She knocked a couple people around. Then her and Liv Morgan shared a glance, oh, my friend's back. And then they got thrown out by the Bellas. Yeah. Then Lita comes out. Lita is freaking Lita. I mean, come on. You see Lita, you're happy to see Lita, and you're grateful to have Lita back. And Lita is out there still doing her thing. Still doing her thing. So, you have Molly Holly, which was Mighty Molly. And then when Molly Holly comes out, she's attacked by Nikki ASH or Nikki Ass, whatever. So she's attacked by her. Then Nikki brings her in the ring, tells her there's only going to be one superhero here, then throws her out, and then she stands there happy. But I'm like, is she a heel or face? I don't know. Maybe she was just upset that there was another person with a cape on. I don't know. Whatever. I don't really get it. Whatever. So after that, you had Ronda Rousey, and instantly when Ronda Rousey came out, I was like, oh, there's no need to watch the rest of this match because clearly Ronda Rousey's gonna win. Clearly, she's the female Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on, we know where this is going. So then after that, you had Shotzi Blackheart, which Shotzi Blackheart with her little green hair is still cool. She comes out, she gets in the ring. Then very last person that comes out was Shayna Baszler, which is cool to see Shayna out there with Ronda. But it all came down to this. Ronda Rousey eliminates Charlotte Flair to go to the main event of WrestleMania. So the last two that were in the ring was Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Now, I do get it's a passing grade. I don't give it a full passing grade, but just the match itself was entertaining, especially all the women that we had in there from the past that actually had an opportunity to come back. And it was really cool seeing a lot of them in there, especially Lita. Not to mention Mickie James, and not to mention Ivory. I mean, I can go on and on just to see all the talent that they had in there. Do I think the right person won? No, but it's kind of a given with WWE. You kind of know what they're gonna do. They say they're supposed to be setting you up for surprises, but that's not a surprise. her winning is not a surprise at all. After that, you had the Doudrop versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. The crowd was kind of quiet. It wasn't really into the match. I'm not really sure why they weren't into the match, but if you go back and you can look and see, like, the WrestleMania sign itself was actually on fire. I think the fireworks went off when Ronda Rousey won. They actually set it on fire, and they ended up putting it out or whatever. So they were more entertained by that. You know, kind of like the beach ball incident, you know, when Cesaro jumped out in the crowd, grabbed the beach ball and tore it up because they were all playing around in the crowd and stuff. All in all, Becky Lynch and Doudrop are great wrestlers, and Becky Lynch tells a great story all the time. I'm gonna give that a pass. As well, good match, very entertaining if you ask me, but a lot of people out there was kind of quiet, you know, between the WrestleMania sign being on fire and the fact that it was just after the females Royal Rumble. It was kind of quiet, you know. Then you have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, which is a match I've been waiting to see for a long time. They've been hyping this match up, like they're like, oh, it's a 20-year thing. You know, they both were in there at the same time, but they never passed, never crossed. Finally, they're going to get a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman, and I think the match itself was really good. I'm gonna give it a pass. I don't really like the way it ended, but the way it ended sets up more stuff, so I can't say I don't really like it. Now, you know what? Screw that. I can't say I don't like it. I did like it. I liked the entire match, even the way it ended. The only thing that I was thinking to myself is I kind of wanted Bobby Lashley to just go over clean, win the match clean without any type of interference. But hopefully down the line we get an actual match between the two of them and we actually get a actual victory, actual winner. Now, with that being said, what happened was Roman Reigns comes out, lays out Brock Lesnar, because the referee got knocked down because Brock Lesnar had picked up Bobby trying to do an F5 on him and ended up knocking out the referee. When the referee hit the ground, Roman Reigns comes out, lays out Brock Lesnar. Then he puts his hand out to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman hands the title to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hits Brock Lesnar, walks out, but he walks out with Paul Heyman as Bobby Lashley goes over and gets to 1, 2, 3. So that's setting things up, and immediately I thought to myself, clearly we know where the rest of this night is about to go. You guys know. Then you had The Miz and Maurice versus Beth Phoenix and Edge. It was a mixed tag team match. I really don't even remember the match. I kind of went to the bathroom, started grabbing pizza, sit down to eat the pizza and stuff like that. I didn't pay that much attention to it, so I really can't give it a pass or a feeling great at all. But Edge and Beth Phoenix, they went with a double glam slam, which I thought that was kind of cool how both of them did a double glam slam. And I thought it was cool at the end. They went over and their kids were there watching them and stuff like that. They had little masks on. It was so cute. But I can't give it a pass or a feeling great because I really didn't watch the match. So, jumping into the match that everybody really wanted to see was the Men's Royal Rumble, and it sucked. It was not good at all. The match was broken down into, like, if you ask me, like 4 segments. I'll explain as we go. So you had AJ Styles comes out as number 1, Shinsuke Nakamura number 2, Austin Theory, Bobby Roode. It was really cool to have AJ Styles and Bobby Roode in there. And Bobby Roode actually made mention to the fact, that they used to go at each other for the TNA Championship when they were both in TNA. Which, again, you had Mickie James, who's the female TNA champion currently. So, you had Ridge Holland, which I don't understand nor like Ridge Holland. Like, this was the first time I'm seeing Ridge Holland. I don't really think it's nothing to him at all. Anywho, after that, you had Montez Ford, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville. Now, the reason why I say it was set up into segments is because of this. So before Johnny Knoxville came out, it was the AJ show. AJ was pretty much doing everything. The person to watch was AJ Styles. Okay, so then Johnny Knoxville comes out. And it becomes the Johnny Knoxville show for a moment while he's out there. So Johnny Knoxville comes out, he gets in the ring with Sami Zayn. He beats up Sami Zayn basically, right? And then he takes him double leg, takes him down, he's sitting and stuff like that. And he also comes out with some of the other members of the show, Jackass. Remember, go see Jackass forever. It's going to be great. So After that, him and AJ Styles kind of got into it. AJ Styles laid him out, and then after AJ Styles laid him out, Montez Ford goes up to the top, comes off with a frog splash, which was pretty cool. Even the fact that he actually took those moves like he did and sold like he did an amazing job. If anybody ever talk crap about Johnny Knoxville, you're gonna have to answer to me. So after that, Johnny Knoxville was taken out of the ring. So it ends up turning back into the AJ Styles show. Okay, so it went from the AJ Styles show, Johnny Knoxville show, back to AJ Styles show. Okay, so after that you had Angelo Hawkins, Amos. So then it becomes pretty much the Amos show. So Amos comes out, he pretty much dominates everybody. After that you have Ricochet, who does nothing. Chad Gable. Now when Chad Gable comes out, Chad Gable has a plan to getting out. Taking out Amos. Now Amos is that big dude. He's the big giant guy, so he has a plan of taking him out. So the plan to take him out is, all right, guys, let's wait and let's let let's let Damian Priest, who's the taller fella, let him go at it. Damian Priest then gets thrown out, and then all the rest of them, with the help of Dominic Mysterio, who comes out, throw them all out. Now, Dominic Mysterio, let's talk about this. Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio, they've been having this little like back and forth thing. Like he's trying to teach his son how to be a better wrestler, how to do things out there, don't trust anybody, and all this other stuff. But that's set up beforehand, but they never really addressed it in the Royal Rumble match, which I thought was kind of messed up, and they should have like brought that up. So after that, you have Baron Corbin, which he's Happy Baron or Happy Corbin, whatever. So you have that. Then after that, you have Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus comes out, Rick Rude, Moss. So then Moss ended up throwing out AJ Styles. So it stopped being the AJ Styles show. All that time it was the AJ Styles show. Then Moss throws him out. So after that, you have Matt Riddle comes out. Then Drew McIntyre. So for a minute, it becomes a Drew McIntyre show. Drew McIntyre comes out. He takes out Moss, and he also takes out Happy Corbin, and he eliminates them both. He gets out of the ring going by under the bottom rope. He dominates them, hitting them with the stairs and whatever. Then right after that, music hits. Kevin Owens comes out. The two of them start fighting outside the ring and get back into the ring. So after that, it kind of died down again. Nothing really happened. So then you have Rey Mysterio comes out. Kofi Kingston come out. And when Kofi Kingston comes out, he's immediately eliminated. He gets into the ring and starts to fight Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens takes him and throws him out of the ring, and he flies. And I think the spot, what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to like caught on to the guardrail and then like put himself up, but his feet immediately touched, so he's out. So we don't get any of that cool stuff from Kofi Kingston. Otis comes out, Big E comes out, does absolutely nothing. Then Bad Bunny comes out, so then it becomes the Bad Bunny show. Okay, so it went from being the AJ Styles show, the Johnny Knoxville show, to back to the AJ Styles show. Then it became the Drew McIntyre show, and then it became the Bad Bunny show. Bad Bunny, I commend him. Everything that Bad Bunny has done so far in WWE has been amazing. It's been great, and it's like he immediately understood what he needed to do. He understood the excitement. I never thought I would be able to actually say that, but man, he did. He understood the excitement. So after that happens, right after Bad Bunny comes out, Shane McMahon comes out. Fuck it. Fucking Shane McMahon. Whatever. So then after Shane McMahon comes out, Randy Orton comes out. And then instantly in my head, Randy Orton comes out. And it becomes a little mini show for Randy Orton and his tag team partner. And, the Bro. So they do their little thing. And then after that, I started thinking to myself, now who could possibly come out next? That's really obvious because WWE don't know what the word surprise means. That's right, Brock Lesnar comes out. So Brock Lesnar comes out, and then this is how it ends. Brock Lesnar enters at number 30 and destroys 6 men and wins the Royal Rumble. If I had to give it a passing grade or a failing grade, I would give it a fail. That match fucking sucked. Not only would I give it a failing grade, the thing with that match that I noticed is that WWE said that they're supposed to be building up superstars. But WWE contradicts himself across the board. Okay, now the reason why the WWE contradicts himself across the board constantly because they fired all those superstars that they had. Some of those superstars had already made a path for themselves. They didn't even need WWE. A lot of them guys that they fired and let go, they just need to find another home. But now, with Ring of Honor, not running currently, which Ring of Honor is a great company. They take care of their wrestlers. Excuse me. With Ring of Honor not being there, it actually makes a whole little vacuum. So a lot of people now are just like, oh, is this person gonna be AEW? This person gonna be AEW? Now the thing is, as much as I don't like WWE, we need WWE. We need Impact to get bigger if we can make it bigger. We need Ring of Honor to come back and make that bigger. We need competition. We need places for these great talents to go to. We have amazing wrestling talents out there that can do amazing things, and it's different variety across the board. But WWE, it's almost like their factory is making the same thing. It's making what they want to be able to control. They're making puppets. They're not making actually wrestlers. WWE does not know how to make an actual wrestler, to make an actual superstar, to make that person, give the person the things, the skills that they need to move on. And you don't believe me? Okay, cool. For example, let's say Enzo Amore. I don't like Enzo at all. Enzo ended up making a great name on himself because he had his mouth. WWE didn't create that. He was already a smack talker. If he wasn't a smack talker, I don't think he would have been able to get successful as he currently is today. Outside of the WWE tried to push him. We didn't like it. It was like, what are you doing? What are these ideas you're coming up with? Clearly, you have people in the back that are writing that don't understand wrestling. They understand drama. They understand things that you might see on the CW. But you're trying to hit a different type of audience. You don't want the audience that watches The Flash you don't want the people that watch The Flash and writers that write for The Flash to then write for wrestling, because there's two different type of things, okay? So you have these people writing those WB shows, but it's saying WWB. This is what? WWE, okay? It's a difference, okay? So, all in all, I'm trying to say this in the best way possible, but WWE, to me, they are not developing superstars. They're not making characters. They're making characters. They're making people like, oh, cool. Here, go put this Viking hat on. No, better yet, here, put this hat on. You're a gladiator now, Mr. Cross. But I was fine before. No, put it on. And you're doing ridiculous things. You have Nikki out there dressed as a superhero, which I don't understand it. You have a lot of great wrestlers in your current company. Okay, but then you fire the great wrestlers that you have within your company. But then you do what? Then you start depending on wrestlers of old. You bring back all these old female wrestlers. Okay, even went to the extent of bringing in a TNA female wrestler who's a female champion to be inside the female Royal Rumble. Why? You don't have enough people to fit? You don't have enough people that you can bring back. Then, so much so that you brought your own son back, Mr. Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, to take a spot in the Royal Rumble. Well, why'd you fire all those people? Then, on top of that, what else did you do? You brought Brock Lesnar back. And not only was Brock Lesnar in a championship match in the same pay-per-view, he ended up coming out during the Royal Rumble and taking the last spot. Okay, there's 30 men in the Royal Rumble. Who'd you bring back? Brock Lesnar, you put him in there. Your son, Shane McMahon, you put him in there. Bad Bunny takes another spot, who's a celebrity, who is not an active wrestler on your current roster. Okay, cool. That's a surprise. That's great. Johnny Knoxville takes up another spot. That's 4 spots right there. That's 4 spots right there of people that you had to bring to make other people who watch your product more excited. Because you don't know how to build current superstars. You don't know how to make superstars. And when you change NXT to what it currently is now, it's not good. It's not. You ruined your own product by thinking that we wanted something different. No. We told you what we wanted. You ask us constantly. You put out these letters and you ask these questions like, what do you want? What do you want? And then we answer them. We go on your website and answer the questions, telling you what we want. And then you, shithead, you do the total opposite. So what's the purpose of asking us what do we want if you're going to do the total opposite? Because you don't care? Is that what it is? But honestly, not me. I only got what 100 people watching me on YouTube. Okay, what like a couple people that what 200 I think or something lower than that or whatever that's listening to my podcast. A few what 300 people on Instagram, which I don't even know if all of them are actual followers or they just clicking because they want to get more people to follow them. All I'm saying is what and what 10 people on TikTok. So I'm not really nobody to listen to, but I am a fan of your product. I watched your product during the Attitude Era. I watched your product back in the day before the Attitude Era. I watched it with the Golden Era. Everything that you've done before WWE, I watched it. WCW, when it was going down the drain, I still watched it. Not for the corporation, not for the people up top, but for the talent. The talent that WWE have is amazing. They are. Liv Morgan, to see where she was and where she is now, amazing. Doudrop, when she used to be Piper Niven, is a freaking amazing. And you change the name to Doudrop. All in all, I say all that to say this. If I had to give this show a pass or a fail, high fail, low fail, in the middle, high pass, low pass, I'm giving it a fail. It's dancing on a fail. You did have great talent that was able to pull out what you wrote down on paper out of their ass and end up making something watchable. But no. Honestly, this is the worst men Royal Rumble I've seen in a long time. With that being said, WWE, do better. If you can pick up what I'm putting down around the town, Charlie Brown. Ta-ta.